Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Runers. Last one crashed, kinda sucked. We're doing largely not the same build, but same difficulty, and we're gonna try something a little bit different today. And I'm gonna try it, and we'll see if it works. So, first and foremost, wow, that does actually make quite the difference. I've switched the game up to slightly higher resolution. Usually I play games at lower resolution just because I'm always worried about performance on my aging laptop, and this game felt like it was going to be one of those that was going to lag really badly, so I just had reduced it preemptively. I don't know. But boosting it up actually makes me see things. Actually makes me feel kind of claustrophobic for whatever reason. I guess it's because my eyes have to travel for farther on the screen to see what's going on. It just scaled everything up, so the reality of this situation is having a small window actually kind of helped. Because there's less visual space for my eyes to have to manage to see what's going on and dodge. So I might actually have to boost it back down, as ridiculous as it is. The kind of shitty case for why playing it low res is actually a good thing. And no, I'm not talking about like 640p. That's stupid, no matter what you do. But, 720p in a window, for whatever reason, with me, actually works out fairly well. Because it's not like it looks low res, because it's in a window. I just have the rest of my screen around it. But I'm finding myself actually having trouble playing with this. Which is why we're going to go with a build that requires no accuracy whatsoever. Because I feel like it's finally time. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I feel like it's finally time for that weirdo run that I've been kind of saying I wanted to do for ages. Also, I don't know if I made this clear, but we're playing as a golem today. And so, what does that do? That reduces our base damage taken by 30%. However, when we get hit, that bonus goes away and slowly comes back over the next, 30 seconds? Yeah, I think it's 30 seconds. Could be wrong about it. Yep. Might actually be faster than that, but it's a good way of getting a defensive boost for what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if it's going to end up being worthwhile, but it's worth a shot. At least, that's what I was thinking. Because what I want to do is go with the Shadow Beast. Also, jeez, this... Why is this doing no damage? Oh, it's a plus one crawler. Of course it wouldn't do any damage. Duh. Okay, so what we need is an air rune. Really what we need are Prismatic Devil, Cataclysm. Actually, really it's just a Cataclysm build, but I'm going to try and do Shadow Beast, Cataclysm, Prismatic Devil, Flame Devil, and with all of their powers combined, I'll form the Charging Cannonball Man. I don't know. I know it's another technically melee build, but at the same time, I've been wanting to try Shadow Beast run. And also Root. We want to use Root for things, because Root will, I don't know, pretty much reduce all of the damage we're going to take, which is kind of the goal here. Now, if I remember right, Cataclysm was Fire Entropy. So whoop, don't go over that. We've already got the two fires, so all we need is an entropy along the way. I really do kind of wish this game had command mode. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Let's just keep going. So, Vent Room. Yeah, Wisp Wrangler. I really do like the enhanced map, though. The map icon for event rooms. It just looks so much nicer than just a giant big green E. I know giant and big together in the same sentence is unnecessary, but at the same time, gets the point across, right? Right. So we've got a light rune sitting over here. We've got double combiner. I think it's an entropy room. I could be wrong, but goal is get Cataclysm, have fun with it. Ow. I do have to say the bonus defense is actually helping us out. It's just, I really need to stop taking so many hits. I think I really will actually downsample the resolution just so I can go back to what I was doing earlier. Because yeah, having a very small game means it's actually pretty easy for me to dodge. Maybe not so much close dodges, but it is a lot easier keeping track of everything on screen. Because otherwise I actually find myself having to look around a lot more. And I guess this is also by the fact that I'm playing on a much larger monitor than I would normally be playing on. Like, I've got a 15-inch laptop, I think, that's at 1080p. And so at that point, it'd be okay. But this is, 1080p on a, 27-inch monitor, maybe a foot away from my face. That's a lot of ground to cover for my my eyes, especially with glasses on. I don't know. I guess glasses aren't actually my glasses don't actually have any effect on how I see the game. It just feels like I have limited vision for whatever reason. We also have the Bard ability, which I should probably use somewhere along the way here, but I've been largely lazy about it for whatever reason. Well, let's just stun the crap out of him and murder the crap out of all of his babies. Beautiful. Yeah, so I went with Bard, even though Mummy is a 100% invincibility. I went with Bard purely because I prefer the Bard character model to the Mummy character model, hands down, and just kind of feel that the 4 seconds of pure invincibility is a little bit less fair. I don't know, I guess it feels less challenging. It truly is just like well, I'm in trouble, let's go invincible. Well, it's not strategy. Okay, so Runedex. So we're looking for, nope, fire. Okay, it's not fire entropy. Cataclysm was, I think it was Cataclysm. Okay, I need my mouse for this one. Discovered. I think it was called Cataclysm. Yeah, here we go. Fire light entropy. Yeah, here we go. So in that case, that actually lets me get a little bit creative. So we got 1 fire rune. So we don't need bullet speed on Cataclysm and air rune. Okay, so now we got Flame Devil. Not as good as Prismatic Devil, but if I'm going to be doing a Cataclysm, if I'm going to be doing a Cataclysm route, charge into the enemy type run, this is probably the best. Going double devil is probably the best way of handling it, just because when you Wrecking Ball into enemies, not only do you have a huge damage source running you into the enemies, but you also have, you yourself are a huge damage source. And I'd love to use it in conjunction with like the Bard ability, or Root. Actually, the real linchpin about all of this, considering we're playing on higher difficulty than normal, is being able to use the Root spell to reduce our damage taken to almost nil, especially with the Golem class ability, because if I can, get out of the way, if I can use all of them together as like a really super fancy combo, then we're going to be in a really good position here. So, I should probably just do this. Freaking skeletons, jerks. Okay, there we go. All we have left is the +1. Yep, no regrets. The one problem is there are a number of enemies that you really don't want to fight in melee in this game, and I get the feeling we're going to have to deal with all of them purely because of the limitations of the build. Scarlet Selva might be a worthwhile holdout. There's also that lightning spell that hits everything in close range to me, which is also a consideration. The only problem with it is it's very short range, and what we need is something that goes out a little bit further. I guess Waves of Discord wouldn't be bad. Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to stomp on half of these skeletons, and they're going to be able to surprise me. Well, there we go. Mainly, I just need to take out those light mages. I think they're light mages. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess them I can Wrecking Ball into, because they don't have the random melee abilities to mess my day up. And honestly, as long as I'm mobile, it's not that big of a deal. So some amount of movement speed would be nice. I do think if I do this in the future, though, instead of going Golem, I'm going to go with Human. Just because, while the Golem thing is kind of useful, and especially combined with the right amount of like damage reduction, could actually make it to the point where I don't take any damage. Problem being, if I do get hit, then its effects are nullified. I was kind of hoping it would be one of those where it's like gives you some kind of sliding scale damage reduction. But at the very least, it does negate the first hit that I take in a room, which is pretty nice. Interestingly enough, I just realized this game doesn't have iframes for taking damage either. There are actually a number of roguelikes like that, and honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. It's one of those where I think iframes work well as far as a game goes, because I don't know, it's an interesting debate to have. It's like, are invincibility frames, do they trivialize danger? You know, oh, you know, I'll get hit once, but then I'll be invincible for like, you know, half a second, giving me enough time to get out of there. I guess this is one of those where, in the setting, I guess maybe, no, I don't think this game has any iframes at all. I think it's just one of those where the character, or not the character, the damage source itself has internal, like, I wouldn't say counters, so much as it has internal ways of handling it. Okay. Oh, wow, this is interesting choices. So we got Quick Learner or Scavenger. I'm gonna go with Scavenger, especially this early on. I really wish I could cannibalize runes for experience. That'd be useful. But seeing as we're not starting as the alpha, and I'm not going to have mindlessness on my build, we're going to need Scavenger. Quick Learner is super tempting, though, purely because it does give us a higher chance of getting those very useful traits along the way. Honestly, I think going Quick Learner is the overall better choice. But I've already made my bed, so I'm just going to lie on it. That's another +1 Crawler Mama, which is kind of annoying. They're kind of obnoxious. So, I mean, we're sitting on a lot of runes here, but no entropy. Like, we've got 4 light runes. What kind of nonsense is this? Well, at the very least, Crawler Mamas are, like, mad easy to deal with. But as soon as I pop her, I have to worry about... Really? That's a lot of light runes. Honestly, we're definitely going to be able to make Cataclysm, or at least from one perspective. I guess I could probably make lights. Not Lights Nova, just lights. If I really wanted to. Well, it's tempting. I'm going to try and lure these guys over and let Flame Devil take care of them. If I could get some more air runes, that'd be nice too. But, no, the reason why going human makes a lot of sense instead of, say, Golem is you also get, you know, a passive 5% damage boost, 5% cooldown reduction. I mean, it's only a 5% defense, but when it comes down to it, I'd almost wager that they end up reducing about similar amounts of damage, purely based on when you get hit in runers, it's usually not just once. We've got 1 health rune, health pickup, so we should be able to make it out of this without taking too much. Kind of hard to tell, actually, at this point. I'm gonna try and kill that Chaos Mage. I only killed 1 of them, much to my general chagrin, and nuts. I was hoping I'd be able to kill more than that. Oh well. We still have 1 health pickup. 2 health pickups. Perfect. So our luck is not exactly the greatest, but I'll deal. We only have 1 more entropy mage. Luckily, our Mind Spike does actually have a longer range. Just it's much slower bullet speed. Yep. I'm taking hits like nobody's business. And now he's backed himself into a corner, which is no fair. Come on. There we go. That took way more time than it should have. So, Wisp Wrangler. I've got a nonsensical amount of light runes. What can I do with it? Let's see. I really wish I could navigate this menu faster. Oh, only discovered. And switch over to the D-pad, because if you press right or left at all, it resets you, which is the dumbest thing ever. Okay, so we've got Flame Devil. And I think that's the only double spell we're going to want. We could go with Lights Nova. We could go with Lights. Sinister Bond, Supernova, Wish. Wish is an interesting spell. It does very little damage, but you can use it as a damage and cooldown buff on yourself, which has its uses. I just think right now it's not going to be particularly useful. I didn't realize Particle Spray had a 0-second global cooldown. That's convenient. Okay, we've already used Starstream. Aqua Devils is fun, but it's got too long of a cooldown for what I want to do. Unless the particles specifically were strike through and, you know, didn't dissipate. Then it would be okay, but it's not. Because boosting its duration is pointless. Could go with Scarlet Salvo. It's not a bad choice. It just really doesn't do much damage. Brittle Boulder, Flash Chill, Light Sphere. Nah, I use that way too much already. Elemental Mind, Wandering Spirit. Ball and Chain. No, wait. The problem with Ball and Chain is it again is single use. It hits something, it's gone. I'd love to use it, but it just doesn't work. Oh wait, I have an entropy rune? Oh, I do. I do have an entropy rune. Okay, so bullet speed is going to be completely worthless for us. I think. Let's go with the fire rune. Yep, there we go. Don't know when I got that, but works for me. Now, something I was told is... Oh, that must have just been patched in. So if you drag a rune over a spell now, and I mean, maybe this has actually been in the game and I just haven't paid attention, but if you drag a rune over the spell, it'll actually tell you the difference. So in this case, putting the air rune onto Flame Devil reduces the cooldown by 0.04 seconds. That's not much. But I'm going to do it anyway because it needs to have a really short cooldown. Cataclysm has, wow, a very short global cooldown. Damn, that's a good spell. It needs a damage boost, but apart from that, it's going to be very solid. So I'm going to save 1. So I'll use up the light runes that I don't need, because I want that damage. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so now we've got massive explosions. It's awesome. Okay, unfortunately, we need a bunch more entropy runes to finish the build. And I'm full health. Let's actually go over and do Wisp Wrangler, because the thing is, with Cataclysm, we're going to be doing a lot of just incidental damage to anything remotely near us, which is kind of exactly what we need. So I should be able to handle this. Okay, where is he? Because as long as I'm... where the crap is he? Oh, he's over here. Yeah, this is going to work. Because I don't actually need to worry about what's going on. Okay, that didn't work as well as I was hoping. Trying to... Come on, wisps. I only need 2 more and there are 4 left. I really should actually focus on killing them. Okay, come on. Just one... No! Damn it. That wisp is in the absolute wrong position for what I want it to do. Okay, well, whatever. As long as I put myself between him and it. Okay, there we go. Damage control quickly. What? Oh. Oh, they rebalanced all of these too. Shit, that's different. Okay, so we can do Quick Learner, 20% increase in XP gain, or Grizzly Intellect is only a 8% cooldown reduction. Ugh, I'm going with that. And none of these are particularly great. I'm gonna go with crit damage. If I can crit a lot, that would be nice. But yeah, they changed Grizzly Intellect, so it's not nearly as desirous anymore. It's 10 health for 8% cooldown reduction. That's not bad by any means whatsoever, but that's not nearly as good anymore. Because honestly, at that point, I'd rather just wait for the 2 of the 4% cooldown reductions and not take the health penalty. I guess the point is you could get Grizzly Intellect in a plus 10 HP thing, but it doesn't matter to me. Okay, so we've got our first 5% defense thing. And note to self, just always go for Quick Learner at this point, because if I could level twice as fast, that's going to put us in a really good position. So, what we need at this point is 1 more fire, 1 more entropy. And then we'll have double Cataclysm, which is like not exactly what I would call the linchpin of the build, but is a pretty significant part of it. And if I can get +1 fire rune levels, then we're going to be in a really good spot. Because the thing is, Cataclysm, it's on its own, is not exactly the most powerful of all the spells, but what it does do, or what it does have, that's so amazingly powerful, is such a wide range of, you know, I guess a wide area of effect. Because the thing is, all the devil spells are really, really quite useful. Problem being, they're very close to the chest, or, in the case of Lightning Devil, too far away and too slow, and it ends up being worthless. So this way, Cataclysm, especially if I had 2 of them, is going to act pretty much like our mid-range. And there's some amount of considerations like, should I, you know, include, say, Lights Nova as part of the build? And I think the answer is going to be no, purely because Lights Nova doesn't travel well with you. Honestly, Cataclysm doesn't travel well with you either. But I can deal with it in favor of just how powerful it is. Ah, man. There's a health pickup right there, and I, lost it. Oh, well. More light runes. Wow. That's impressive. But, like, Cataclysm does kind of follow behind you, but at the same time, that's what the two devil spells are going to be for, as well as Shadowhunter, because pretty much anything in our wake or remotely around us for longer than half a second is going to get blown up. Unfortunately, the damage is a little bit on the low side, comparatively, like the bouncy light orbs, I guess the light spheres that I had previously. Those truly do a lot of damage. They have a lot of bang for the buck, I guess, is the phrase I'd kind of use for this situation, but like, look at this. It's like a bunch of little mini supernovas. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but they hit so many people. It's arguably probably the best close-range clearing spell I have in my arsenal. I have to watch out for that imp a little bit, because he's going to mess up my stuff. He's going to mess it up hard. Actually, he's dead. Well, there's that. Oh, sandstorm. Freaking Darude. Holy shit, that does a lot of damage. Well, I guess I'm going to have to pick up both of those. I didn't have to until I stood inside of it. Still nothing. Okay. Escort. Well, it's a bunch of melee-type enemies. I'm actually going to hold on to it just for a little bit. Let's bust open a couple of things. Just because it is a lot easier to do event rooms when you have a full build. And if I could get a second Cataclysm, Prismatic Devil, maybe not Shadowhunter. Root would be useful, actually. Yeep. Stay away from that. But, like, there are a bunch of really awesome spells that I could get my hands on. I'm just going to hang out here for a second. Let the bats kind of murder themselves, because the bats are kind of a problem. Luckily, bats turn around at the moment they take damage, so that actually has some pretty easy... it's pretty easy to deal with them. I'm noticing I'm actually starting to recognize enemies without their name, and I can actually, like, think of counterattacks for them. And this game is not nearly as recognizable, or at least it doesn't have nearly as recognizable of enemies as a lot of other games. Like, yeah, sure, the slimes, the burrowers, you know how to deal with them. But most of the mages, kind of hard to remember what spells they specifically have on them, unless they're particularly dangerous. Okay, this is a good time for this. Hello. Okay, all I need is a fire rune at this point. I'd almost say Fire Devil was actually a mistake, but I don't really agree with that statement. Let's just murder these guys. Okay, that's just a basic burrower. What do we got over here? Okay, he's dead. Yep, watch out for the sandstorms. Sandstorms hurt. We are leveling very quickly, though. That is a very nice perk. I'm glad I got it. Also, we got a triple combiner. Already, too. Wow. Okay, well, let's see what I can get. Well, I backed out. At least I didn't break the triple combiner. Creatable. Undiscovered. Can't use entropy. So, mind dark. Mind dark. What's that make? Cloak of Shadows. Dons a cloak that sends the caster in the shadows. Bullets and melee attacks have no effect on the caster, but leaves the caster greatly weakened to damage over time effects. Really? It's a very short cooldown, but hell, why not? Can I get it to be longer? Yeah, Dark Runes will get it to be longer. I'm just not sure by how much. Well, it works for me. And I'll use it, gladly. Just make sure I don't get hit by those fireballs. But at least it's only a two-second thing, so you pretty much know what you're getting into. I'm definitely going to take it out of the rotation pretty quickly, but at the same time. Wait, what? What? Okay, apparently the tooltips are a little busted. Oh, wow, they've rebalanced a lot of things here. So, Wild Burst. Now 30% chance on killing an enemy to release a Seeking Bullet that does 3 damage. Or higher level Scavenger. I'm just going to go with higher level of Scavenger, but they've rebalanced a number of things. Because originally the Seeking Bullet was like 10% for 4 damage, I want to say. And honestly, that's a good change. That actually makes the Seeker... I should have actually gone for the Seeker Bullet, come to think of it. Oh, well, a bit late for that one. Take reduced damage from melee. Wow, that really does make quite the difference. And there's nobody with damage over times here. Do have to worry about the freaking clouds. Alright, let's just fix the problem. That fixed it pretty hard. Yeah, I've taken a little bit of damage. I'll be fine. So we've got some shock. Yeah, I could go with double lightning. But at the same time, it's such an obvious thing. I'd prefer to diversify a little bit. Now, we could go out of our way for root or we could go out of our way for root or Shadowhunter. Problem being, root without Shadowhunter is kind of worthless. And Shadow Hunter without root is pretty worthless too. So those actually are sticking kind of at the back end of what we want here. Because the thing is, I think Sandstorm's been buffed, actually. It seems like it's a lot more dangerous than it used to be. But until I can get both Shadow Hunter and Root, there's no point in me going for either of them. I'm just going to don the buff. Buff does not give us much help. At the very least, we have, really crazy explosions following us around, which, hello, double Cataclysm, get. I mean, I have to pick up the Fire Rune, but let's be honest here. That's just a couple of seconds of waiting. Let's just wallop into the everything. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Fire Rune. Now, the one question about double Cataclysm is it going to let me even do it? Because there's some amount of concern that I have that we're quite simply not going to be able to cast any other spells while the two are going off. Well, that's why I'm experimenting right now, right? Okay, looks like I can get the shots in, so that's really good. And I'll just keep mashing the bumpers, I guess. So we're just a bit off full. I can make it 2 rooms over. There's the escort. There's the escort event. I could totally do that. I'll do that before picking up these health pickups. In fact, I think there's like 5 in here. Yeah, geez. It'd be weirdly irresponsible of me. And like I said, we've completed our build a heck of a lot more than prior. So there's quite literally no reason for me to not just come back in here and do this. Because now we are just a walking explosion. I'm half tempted to do Cataclysm and Supernova together at some point, just sheerly because the entire build would be nothing but explosions, which would be completely humorous to me for whatever reason. I guess it's like fireworks. I'd probably call it fireworks too. So we could go Grizzly Strength. So Grizzly Strength hasn't changed. Second Wind, Battle Hardened. Battle Hardened is tempting, but I'm going to go with Luck. I really don't know what the difference is between Luck and not, but I'm going to go with Bullet Size. That might increase the size of the explosions, and I'm just going to assume it does. And since they're already pretty big, that helps. Of course, I have no idea. Oh well, doesn't matter that much. We get to go down the floor. We got a lot of stuff there. So I could go with, I don't even know if the spell itself has a knockback effect, come to think of it. I'm going to go with it. I think it does. I'm not sure. And when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter that much. But some part of me hopes that it has a knockback, just so it can keep things off my tail a little bit. Because while we do want to hit people with the effects, we want to keep them away from me as best as possible. Okay, so we're on to floor 3. That's a good thing. We've yet to see any speed runes, which is kind of a better or worse thing. I honestly find most speed rune type spells being to be kind of worthless. But the same thing, I think I need it for root. Because I think that's dark, speed, and something else. Because I think I discovered that while accidentally trying to make Dark Calling, but I could be totally wrong about this. Now, the one thing I do have to say about this game that does surprise me a little bit, there's no nature rune. I don't know why, but that is surprising to me. I was expecting nature runes to be part of this game for whatever reason. I mean, I guess we got all sorts of other things, but at the same time, it just seems odd to me. That's a lot of sandstorms. Let's just stand right in the middle of here, blow up all of the, hey, there's the speed rune. And part of the other reason why I was commenting on the lack of the speed runes is purely because we might need them if we're fighting Blazia. Let's grab the light runes. Because, yeah, if I can get the explosion size to be, like, massive, we're going to be in a real good spot. Also, if I can get the damage up. What's this? So, size. Bullet duration, bullet speed. Here's the question. That actually is kind of significant, surprisingly enough. Hey, it works for me. So, I don't think I need any more light runes for any of this. So I'm just going to have one big one, one small one. The thing is, I'm not sure what size means. Is it the size of the explosion or the size that it all comes out? So I'm just going to pile all of the explosions into... Yeah, okay. I'm going to pile all of the light runes into the first one. Because if I can have a inner ring and an outer ring, that's probably going to be better. So, also, to confirm, yet again, if the rune has a special bonus as part of it, it does not get stacked into the rune itself, thus making the Wisp, while powerful, extremely problematic in a lot of senses. I'm just going to do it. Let's see. Now we got a lot of mud golems, but you know what I can do? It's off cooldown. That sucks. Oh, nope, no you don't. Ah, oh, you bitch. You made it away with something. Oh, I gotta bust up the treants. Oh, this is actually kind of problematic. Please be done. They're not moving anymore. Perfect. Okay, that was bad. We lost a something to the thief. Whatever the something was. Oh well. So we could go with Lucky, Grizzly Intellect, Excess Energy. So Excess Energy still has the same issue. And it wouldn't be bad, but I'm going to keep piling on Lucky, because I want to see what it does. And we need movement speed. So overall, despite the fact that a thief made it away with something, we're still making it out with pretty solid bank here. That's kind of exactly what we need. Let's turn the explosions back on. And I was actually assuming that I still had... Jeez. That takes out the little mini necroskeletons like nothing else. Okay, this is probably the best time to use it too. Beautiful. Ow. We took some damage there. Okay, so we can do Inventor, Grizzly Strength, Trapper. Ah, these are all kind of mediocre. Because the thing is... I mean, 40 experience on combining a triple spell is not bad. Grizzly Strength, you know, 10% extra damage ain't bad. Lose 10% damage, 5% slow, not good. I guess I'll go with this one, just because all the other ones are particularly worthless to us. Oh, well, okay, so we're injured. I really wish you could actually go back up and down floors. That would make my dependency on health pickups substantially less. Also, let's see. Still no more entropy. I was really hoping I'd get Prismatic Devil by the first boss. Yup, and I got stuck on a Destructible. The one thing is the Cataclysm itself is extraordinarily good. I'm actually going to hide on the other side of walls from these guys. It works. Okay, I was going to say, hide on the other side of walls from these guys, because it actually makes... well, Cataclysm fires through the walls. As far as I can tell. Unfortunately, Mind Spike does not. Oh well, mainly I'm just waiting for those mud zones to go away. Because he puts down huge ones, but at the same time... As long as he doesn't hit me with them, it ain't no problem. Problem is, there's so many of them. Ow. Gotta avoid. Problem is, you know, it's such a long slow. There we go. And they also hide the damage zones pretty substantially. I feel like my eyes are just slowly spacing out here, purely because there's so many, like, bright explosions showing up on my screen. Actually kind of regretting the fact that I turned off the light in my room, because now it just kind of hurts. Well, it's not the end of the world. So I think... Actually, I have no idea if the size on the Nova has any bearing on things. Well, let's kill him. And then just beast these guys. I'm really curious what that dark orbital that crawler has. Because I've never seen it before. Okay. So size, cooldown. Yep. So I'm just going to keep piling light runes into this one. I know, kind of excessive, but it works for me right now. And yeah, I could totally make Lights Nova as part of this build, but it seems really stupid to me. I might do it. If purely because it does kind of fit the build. Okay, let's just get out of the way. I don't want to get hit by a bunch of knights. Because specifically melee type enemies are going to be kind of strong against me. It's kind of like they're strong against me, but they're also weak against me. Because I guess we're just kind of like... I wouldn't say codependent so much as like co-destructive. You know, they'll do stupid amounts of damage to me, and I'll do stupid amounts of damage to them. And honestly, I'm gonna end up coming out the victor, but it's still going to be scary and painful for me nonetheless. So let's just keep going. Yeah, I'm enjoying Double Cataclysm thus far. You know how I say every once in a while that I guess really whenever I fight Yggdrasil, that I'm like specifically good at fighting him? I think that has never been truer than currently. Because normally he traps you inside that ring and it's problematic. Dude can't trap me for shit. Gotta watch out for that a little bit. Actually, can I just stun him for a bit? Yep, there we go. He dead. That was pretty embarrassing. He's also got a little minion thing. And let's just bust these things up, because why not? We're here, and we can. So I think... Oh, yep, we got another triple combiner, so I'm going to have to pause after this one. And unfortunately, we got a couple of Chaos Mages, which, you know, are giant jerks. Yeah, I will definitely say in the future, I'm going to go with Human and not Golem, because Golem, I would almost say Golem's actually better for a sniper build when you're not taking damage. I was thinking I'd go with Golem because it's so defensive. It ain't, actually. The reality of the situation is, it's kind of mediocre for what we're doing right now. Well, ow! Jeez. Whatever that was. These purple wisps have some kind of crazy nuke that does a lot of damage. Oh, really? Oh, well. Not the end of the world. And let's turn off the explosions for a bit. And just use right bumper to bust through the destructibles. No guarantee there's going to be anything whatsoever. We also haven't found the boss yet, which surprises me. Okay, so first, let's go all the way back, pick up that health. We're going to need it. Now, if I could get Doctor or Soul Rip, it's probably going to be, well, one of the best things for us, because no matter what, we're going to be taking unnecessarily large amounts of damage this run, purely because it's melee, and the entire goal is to be as close to enemies as possible, which is extremely dangerous. Like, if this game was... Oh, God, I would love to see a game that's essentially a first-person equivalent of this game. Oh, hey, we have found the boss. I just wasn't paying attention at the time. I'll just grab the health. It's not like it's going to matter at this point. Okay, turn on the explosions. But yeah, like a first-person version of this game would be phenomenal. Honestly, if it controlled a lot like Tower of Guns, where like you can mix and match your abilities, have like a bunch of different things, and geez, I'd make this if I knew how to 3D model. It's one of those where it's like I probably should just learn instead of just saying I should learn. But oh, God, that would be awesome. Because I feel like in a third-person environment, it would just be phenomenal in terms of, like... I guess in a 2D plane like this, using a joystick for a 360-degree movement doesn't do the game justice. I guess it makes dodging nigh on impossible to do from, like, a fully accurate sense. And that's kind of the problem with top-down shooters. But I could really see some really exciting stuff coming out of... first person. Okay. Wow, that really boosts the damage too. Jeez. Okay, so I think I'm going to go Hog Wild on one of them, just because it doesn't seem like it makes much of a difference. And I'm not going to reduce the cooldown, if only because we need that entropy for Prismatic Devil. Because worst comes to worst, we get rid of Flame Devil. The other thing is, I could make Shadow Beast or whatever. So first and foremost, we got a triple combiner. Runedex, what's creatable? So Shock, Earth. Sure, works for me. I need to get rid of some of these shock runes. They're filling up my inventory, and hopefully I can find something that's good. Let's see. These are plain shock runes, but there aren't any other ones. Diamond Shock. Lightning bolts in a diamond shape around you. Diamond Shock has... Holy crap. Well, that goes on the build. Buy Cloak of Shadows. And we get to level up. So Arcane Guardian, 25 seconds. Wait, the cooldown and the tooltip say different things. Either way. So, Arcane Guardian has been buffed. Rune Infusion has been changed. Did all of these just change, like, a minute ago? That's weird. Alright, well, whatever. But, let's just get out of the way. Okay, so the thing about the diamond is it's kind of both exactly what we need and exactly what we don't, because it's got huge knockback, apparently. It doesn't really feel like it. But the thing is, it's essentially... a different type of devil spell. It's probably going to get taken off the build, if only because it's got such a high, or not a high, such an odd shape, and it's kind of weirdly inconsistent, but I can really see it having some useful effects here. Okay, let's murder him, grab this, and just sit here like some kind of horrifying death laser. I guess we're not exactly a death laser, it's like, there's not really a good real-life example of something that's just perpetually exploding just to screw your day up. Just because perpetual motion in any way, shape, or form is against, you know, the laws of nature and wouldn't work. Either way, I am enjoying the diamond, and I'll probably keep it on the build until I can replace it. Either that or I'll... Well, this is going to be interesting. I might actually be okay here. Because... honestly, between all the devils and stuff, anything that's... Oop, I'm going to stay out of the green zone. Yeah, between all the devils and stuff, any of the, like, bouncy clouds are just going to get wrecked. I don't think this is going to be as good as some of the other builds I've done lately, as far as fighting Nimbus goes, but it's a pretty good one. I have half a mind of trying to figure out if I can make rain, because if I remember right, rain actually just ruined Nimbus, which surprised me, but I'm kind of happy that they even put that in, just because it felt like there was some intention there. It's like, oh, you know, have the one weather effect just do crazy town damage to the boss. Works for me. Noticing my frame rate is kind of all over the place just because of the sheer amount of special effects on this screen, which I guess is probably part of the reason why this game is so plain, that if they had like really hired a truly professional artist along the way here, this game would not run well. But then again, maybe it would. It's hard to tell. I do have to say, the special effects animation in this game, I mean, they're all just kind of basic particle effects, but they make me happy. Like, they fit better than the character designs. This is the point of what I'm trying to make here. And honestly, that's kind of the important part, just because this game is so special effects dependent. Like, there are very, very few games where you practically need to just rely on special effects as a means of attacking. Because, like, usually, okay, bullets, you kind of see them, you kind of don't. It's not that big of a deal. I cannot attack him. He is not making it easy, at the very least. Okay, there, finally. I can get back on his ass. Sort of. Because it really is just his floating face. So he's been going through those red zones, and they're kind of hard to hit. But yeah, we're definitely pretty unique. I keep saying uniquely suited for fighting this boss. Because the reality of the situation is, any build that I make that's particularly suited for dealing with large groups of enemies, I'm uniquely suited for fighting Nimbus. Just because he is, effectively, a large group of enemy. So we get another triple combiner, Runedex. Shock, Shock, Dark, Shock, Speed, Dark. Let's go with that. Let's mix and match a little bit here. What's it make? Huh. Well, that's fascinating. I'm going to try it. I'm not sure what it's going to do, but it sounds interesting. Let's go down. So we can do crit damage, shock levels, air rune. I'm going to go with crit damage. Eventually we'll get crit chance. I don't know, though. It'll be interesting. So let's try it. Oh, no. It's left bumper. So the thing is... Wow, that could do some really solid damage. Huh. That could be a really strong attack. It's got a very short range, which is the one problem with it. Oh, and... Does it only go forward? Yeah, it only goes forward. Okay, so there's some drawbacks to that spell. It would probably do good as a strike-through. Like on a strike-through build. Oh, I forgot to end the episode, so you know what? I'm going to clear this room, and then I'll end the episode. Close enough, right? Right. I'm just going to go invincible for a second and murder everything. Okay. Big, scary, bad things are happening to me. Ow, that was like half my health. Honestly, though, fighting a Moai head is pretty bad for me. Hopefully we'll do fine against everything else. It remains to be seen. I need to figure out what the runes are for root. I might have actually already used them by accident. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go with Battle Hardened. Reduce the effective rooms. Also, apparently there's a health pickup somewhere. Oh, there it is. Hiding in the corner. Okay, so, as I was saying, I'll see you guys on the next episode of Runers, where we'll try this and try and survive and try and make it farther, because I'm not betting on us, but I'm interested in seeing where we go. So, see you guys then, and as always, thanks for watching.